What's going on, guys? Jeff Fan here, Fiji on the screen. We're going to be using a different commander here. It's going to be Tyrwit. I first saw this build on the channel. It's called Back of the Port. Community contributor is the Galloping Major. One of my favorites. I feel like a chill, down to earth, just smooth talking, good guy. He's your CC. Streams every Friday night, so he's definitely worth the watch, worth the check out. And it also does basically like a weekly thing where he talks about any news and what's coming up for events that week. So one of my favorite CCs. So definitely check him out. Back to the Port. He's where I saw this build. He runs it on a lot of the British cruisers. So basically where I'm at with this Tyrwit build is that I have it only to 16.3. So that means that when I do use my 4 smokes, in between each smoke screen there's going to be about a 45 to 50 second delay. I don't remember the exact time, but it's about 50 seconds or so. Now, that's not great, but again, that's 2 battleship salvos, worst case, right? So, figure you can try to dodge 1 or 2, or you take minimal damage, try to angle up, do that. There's some options here with this torpedo build and torpedo setup as well. If you put on for the third perk, the torpedo range perk, now that one that reduces your destroyer's HP. Obviously, this isn't a destroyer, so it's just pure positive options in there. You can really get this thing out to 9.2 kilometers. I think you get the range. So that means that in a cruiser you're going to be able to have the ability to stealth torp. And with the setup I have, these torpedoes, they reload the tubes in about a minute. So a cruiser that has the ability to stealth torp, that has smokes that regenerate it 45 to 50 seconds after they're used. You see what I'm starting to kind of come along here on this. So in general, I think especially on Fiji, Leander, those 2 cruisers especially, I like this build. Only reason why I don't use it on my tier 7 is because I'm a strong proponent and a strong advocate of radar on the Edinburgh. I think Edinburgh works well with radar. Is at its best, I should say, with radar. So again, that's where I sit. That's why I don't use Tyrwit on my Edinburgh. I know plenty of people who do. I know it's a great option for the Edinburgh, so feel free to use that. I don't have Minotaur yet. I'm getting there. I got probably one more update cycle left here, and then Minotaur is going to be on my list. So Minotaur, I feel like I go either way with it. It's kind of a tough choice because yes, you don't really have the survivability in the armor like the Edinburgh does, so you can really kind of defend yourself in those situations. You don't have that, so you're basically a sitting citadel and a sitting dev strike. So you may need to go smoke or radar with that ship, but I'm not sure. So again, Tyrwit, basically my long point on that is Tyrwit may come back for my Minotaur build. We'll see. And again, the overall setup on this, yes, you don't have the best firing range, but again, my main goal on this is to get into a spot, get into a cap, fight off these enemy destroyers, cruisers, etc., and use my smoke to basically get myself good firing positions and platforms, and then rip people apart. Now, I don't care what people say that AP is not the best against it. Oh, what was that? 4K on one salvo? What was that again? Another 8K. Oh, and a secondary kill. So 2 salvos from a Fiji, and I took a full health cap gone. Okay. British AP. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. British AP is disgusting. Okay. It's not like your German AP or your American AP that doesn't do damage. This stuff rocks people, and especially destroyers. Now, on my setup in this specific game, I have the standard fall, which reduces the reload time of all consumables by 0.2 per 1% of HP lost. Okay, so when I start getting my keister kicked, right, and I throw out that last smoke screen or the one right before it, all of a sudden my 7.5 second reload is going to be about 5.8. And I'm not blowing smoke on that. I'm being serious. It gets it down to like in the high fives. So again, tier 6, 12 guns, and you're going to have a high 5-second reload. Now again, you're not going to have much HP left at that point. But if you hold on to your heal, right? See where I'm going with this? If you hold on to the heal until after your smoke starts to go down, then you pop the heal, then you can bite the bullet a little bit more on that reload time extending, and from there, then you deal with it from wherever. But yes, I have come around to that over the torpedo range for stealth torping. There's also one more option you could do, and that's you have the ingenious or perceptive perk, or I forget which one it is on Tierwood, but you have that as well. Now that's helpful if you want to be a destroyer hunter. In this 8.9 kilometers, you can get pretty damn close to a destroyer without them really knowing until you pop up. So most destroyers, you figure you have about a 5.5, 6 kilometer detectability on the low end. So you figure you're going to be within 2 to 3 kilometers at that point. So I don't know. I'm just saying. It could be an option, and you'd be able to head right in the right direction, exactly where you know that destroyer is, because obviously you'd have the little indicator on your screen. So you'd be able to basically hunt down and pin those destroyers in a tough spot, tough position. So that's always an option. You see there again, we got the capture, and as we're taking these shots and we're sending these salvos out, you're seeing that we're getting relatively consistent damage. Obviously, we're getting blind fired there. We got 1 minute and 20 left on this smoke screen. We're just trying to do as much damage as we can. We'd like to try to protect the C cap. We'd like for our friends all the way in the back to go toward the A cap, or at least come toward the B cap to help us defend. One or the other. Not what they're doing right now. Now they're kind of just sitting there in a stalemate kind of draw at A. Obviously, this game does not look good for us. This is not a great situation. We're kind of in a rough spot here. So this game is going to come down to, can we hold on to C and or capture A and do enough damage to these guys to end up with a victory in the end. Not easy sledding here. Not an easy position to find ourselves in. So it's pretty difficult. And this is definitely what you'd call an uphill battle. So at this point, I'm getting 0 spotting because the destroyer he's gone. I don't know what he's doing. He's just sitting in a smoke screen, so he's not even helping me try to help him defend C. So he's gone. And if I were to take a salvo here, I'd be the only thing lit up. So, and by the time that salvo got there, C would have been captured. So maybe not the best play by me. Probably should have realized that destroyer was just going to sit in the smoke screen and, not spot or anything. Probably should have gone out of that smoke screen, gone and tried to engage these targets and try to hold them off of the C cap. But again, hindsight is 2020, and so here we are in the live game, basically now really in a bad spot. So see there, we throw the brakes on, you get that good propulsion with the British line. Now I do like double rudder options for the Fiji and all these other cruisers, but with this build, I do still believe that the concealment mod and mod 3 is your better choice for the Fiji. Just my opinion. Could be wrong. Feel free to leave a comment if you disagree or whatever. I'm always open to hearing other people's builds, other people's options, other people's setups. But I think 8.9 kilometers makes up for the struggling rudder. Again, the rudder isn't absolutely atrocious. It's like a 6-second rudder, so definitely not agile, but could be a heck of a lot worse. So there's that. And you see here, I'm trying to now defend B, really hoping that those guys get on A. And I think that one of those cruisers that's left is AFK, just not playing. He just loaded into a game, maybe lagged out or whatever. But he's not here, so that doesn't help me very much. So you see there, we throw the smoke. We throw the smoke to try to disengage and break off from these guys. You know, anytime I'm the only target and I got a Scharnhorst or any other battleship for that matter looking at you, not a good, comfortable position to be in. Now, obviously, in this situation here, these are one of my earlier games playing with Tyrwit, so I didn't really think about my strategy with the standard fall and the HP. So you see there, I popped the heal. Now, I've come around and I've done some thinking and a little bit of looking and some research, and obviously that perk, the stronger it becomes stronger, the lower your HP becomes. So during your engagement, if you're not in an active fight that basically you're being seen and spotted, leave the HP down. It'll help with your reload and the torpedo reload and everything else, right? So definitely an option there. So you see there, we get absolutely chunked, and now look at those guns. Now all of a sudden we're in the sixes, mid sixes, right? Right. What number is on there when I pull the trigger? It's like 6.3 or 6.5, something like that, right? So again, that's 7.5 second reload normally. It took a second off. With half my health gone, took about a second off the reload, right? You say, that's not that big of a deal, but again, over the course of however many salvos, you know, if I have a second slower or second quicker reload, you know, what does Wargaming do when they buff ships? You know, if they give them a 2-second reload reduction, or they nerf ships by adding a second, because over the course of a whole game, over the course of a whole, you know, battle, that's a substantial amount of potential damage that they've taken away, right, or added for that matter. So this perk on a cruiser, if I can get a 2-second quicker reload time, I could absolutely destroy people with the speed on these guns. So just a thought, you know, worth maybe looking into. There's another 2 trade-offs here with the Tyrwit build, and you're gonna see them. So number 1 is you only get 2 heals. Number 2 is you only get 2 sonars. So that option there to have that option, like I was saying, to have multiple layouts, multiple setups. And so basically what I'm trying to get at is, if I were on a Frazier build, or let's say a Tenant build, you have the option to have fully packed, which gives you 3 heals, 3 sonars, and 3 smokes. Now, obviously, the Tyrwit build, you get the Smogathon, which gives you the double smoke edition, but it doesn't affect the other 2 perks or consumables. So you kind of have that little bit of a trade-off there. You get the faster smoke generation, you get the longer range torpedoes, you get the standard fall option, and then you also have this negative trade-off. So you see here, right here, it's such a short dispersion time for the smoke that basically a good player, even though you have the smoke screen up, obviously once I'm going to back into that smoke screen, I'm going to hold my shot until I get it back in there. But once you kind of have that smoke, you basically have to be slowing down before you deploy it. If you're not slowing down before you deploy it, you're going to do what I just did right here, and that's you're going to overrun the smoke by 1.5 miles. And in a situation where you're spotted or you're inside 8.9 kilometers, bye-bye, Felicia, you're going to be going to the bottom. That's a bad way to go, okay? So you see California, we're just going to start sending salvos into the California. Just keep an eye on the damage ticker here, because again, we're at about 9k in health. So every salvo we send out is about a 6.2 second reload. 6.1, 6.2 second reload, give or take. Right? I mean, look at that. I mean, we are just chunking this guy. We're ripping him apart. Now, that destroyer kind of shafted me a little bit here by charging in so aggressively like that. I understand what he was trying to do. I do. I get it. He was trying to take out the battleship with the torp run. But, you know, if he were to just keep him spotted there, you know, again, this is something that, like, it's on me too, because I'm not on the microphone. I don't use the mic. I just use the comm wheel and go from there. You know, I feel like the comm wheel is decent enough. And I really don't care so much to sit there and listen to toxicity on the mic. So, yeah. But basically at this point, I don't have that California spotted anymore. You know, that California sitting flat broadside, I could have probably ripped him for another gosh knows how much. And maybe then when he softened up and he's paying attention to me, then we could hit him with a torp strike or try to get a last second kill on him. But eventually, obviously, once I pulled out of that smoke screen again, time ran out and we were done. So, not a bad play by him. I understand that we were running out of time. He was trying to get a quick kill, put us up on points, and then we'd win that way. But, again, 2100 base XP, highest in the lobby, okay, on a loss. So, this tier whip build, definitely viable, definitely worth it. If you like the channel, leave it a like and subscribe, guys. We'll see you on the high seas. Take care.